All right, in this module, we're going to discuss the OS module. Well, a couple cool things about it. Since you're working with files and databases and different file types, it's often helpful to know a couple commands from the OS module. Now, if we import OS module in the shell, we do a dir on it. Look at that. I messed it up already. There we go. So you'll see that there's tons of things the OS module has to offer. Right? You can go through them and read their individual fun things about each one with the help. Here we're going to focus on get current working directory, absolute path, does exist, is a dir, is a file, is a list and list a dir and things like that, and quick error handling. So often when you're working with files, you say open this file. Well, try open that file. Else print something went wrong, file does not exist, something like that. So let's run through this really quick. So CWD variable equals os dot get current working directory, open close parameters, hit enter, call on your CWD, and you get your full working directory. Since this is a Windows machine, you see that the backslashes are negated or escaped. Those are important when working in Python and Windows, right? Now, within this directory, we have a text file called mailbox, right? mbox.txt. So we want to get the absolute path of it. The absolute path is the entire path, right? So we'll just say path equals os.path.abs path. And here's where we're giving our parameter of our mbox.txt. Close it, hit enter, and then we'll call on our path variable. And now we see the absolute path of that file is located. Excellent. One of my favorite methods, go away. One of my favorite methods is exists. So os.exists, or path, my bad, path.exists. So now you're looking for a specific path. If I spell it right. Caught that before I hit enter. That's what, it doesn't happen often. So we're going to look for os path exists of mbox.txt. And hit enter, and it comes back boolean true. So if this exists, do this, else do that. And you can roll that into a try statement as well. There also is directory is file. Let's see if we know that this is a file, but let's try the is dir, right? False. You're right. The object itself has the attribute of a file, not a directory. And we'll see that right here when we say is file, and we get a true. Once again, these small methods can be used in conjunction with larger logic or a more pronounced script saying, does this exist? It exists. Is it a file or dir? If it's a file, open it. If it's a dir, create a file in it. So you can get really tricky with these couple commands, right? It's a blast. And we'll try the other one, list dir. And we'll see what we get with the file name. Okay, nt path, no attribute for list, right? So it's a path. Well, what if we give it this? Give it our current path. What did I do there? Nt path, no attribute, right? So what do you think is the issue with this? Anybody know? What if we swap these? Oh, no, right? What if we try this? So we're saying os path list dir, right? Nothing, right? What does it keep saying, huh? Module nt path has no attribute of list dir. So, does list dir work on Windows machines? So if we follow that trace back and keep reading, was it our syntax? No. Look what it says. nt path has no attribute list dir. So we have to remove the path. So os list dir, and then we'll throw in a directory. Oh, same thing. What? Win3 error. The system cannot find specified path. Let's try this again. What's going on here? What if we tried os.listdir and we just threw it a root directory? We just threw it d:. There we go. So what's the difference between all those? Well, you see a couple of them I was missing the colon. And I wanted everyone to see these different errors you receive. So now that we know this exists and this is listdir, and you see that this listed out all these files and directory names, right? Or does it? So it lists what's in the directory of D. But did it do more than that or less? Because it looks like it's in the current working directory, right? So if we do cwd and hit enter, that's everything that's in this directory. Let's test that theory. All right, let's go to here, os.listdir, and that matches. So keep in mind when you're using listdir, it works off absolute paths, and the main focal point here is to get to know your error messages. This was telling us straight up that path does not have a method of listdir. So get used to error messages, read them, don't give up, fumble through them. You know, if you need to pivot to the help or pivot to Google, you know, do your favorite search engine. But ultimately, the goal of this is to get you familiar with the OS module, understand a couple absolute path exists, current working directory, and some error handling on opening and closing files. And that's it for this.